everyone, I wanted to come on and show you a few books that I found recently. Well, these are, you know that I collect the Santoro Gorgeous things, so these are books of Santoro Gorgeous papers, and they are indeed gorgeous. These are like background pages. Look at those dragonflies, aren't they lovely? Yeah, and then we've got the little tiny flowers, we've got butterflies, glitter, everything you could need to make a card with. Absolutely love it. Yeah, and I've got that and this one on Vinted, and these again are just plain background pages, but yeah, they're perfect for making journal cards and for making ATC cards with. Next I got this one. It's a book of garden flowers, and I bought it because I wanted a different book, but I added it to the bundle because it's got some really pretty pictures in there you could use, and it's got these that you could cut out and colour in. I thought that was quite a unusual and different thing to do. I liked the idea of that. These black and white ones being cut out and coloured in yourself. Really thought that would be a bit different, wouldn't it? And there's loads of them in here, and then you've got the coloured pictures as well that you could use. So I thought that would be really, you know, really useful in a journal, especially in a garden journal. Oh, look at that there, that little picture there just in the corner of a page. If you reinforced it, you could use it as a tuck. Yeah, brilliant for that. Then I got a book of birds. These are just the padding before I show you the book I really wanted. Birds of Britain and Europe. So great big pages, lovely thick paper, nice little small pictures there that you could use. Look at that one, you could use that one of that owl, couldn't you? Yeah. And not only that, you find out all about the birds. Look at this. Nice background pictures there. Books are so precious in journal making, aren't they? Look at these. Wow. Oh, look at that woodchat shrike. Look at that little bird. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I do love birds and learning about them. Really interesting. Just look at this one. Look, it's nearly swallowing its mother whole. Look. They're such busy little creatures when they are feeding their young, aren't they? What's this? A barred warbler. Yeah, some of them I've not heard or seen before. Grasshopper warbler, Sabby's warbler. Sounds like they're all warblers. Look how pretty that one is. Look, the colour of her. Yeah. So yeah, that's a bird one. Then I know I had this one before, but it was very musty, and I couldn't use it. I was disappointed because I couldn't use it. It's called The Living Countryside Along the Riverbank. So when I saw this one, I re-bought it because this one is not fusty. This one indeed is a lovely book with all different animals in it. Look, this is a mink. Expert escapers, it says. Pipistrel bats there, look. Yeah, Dana likes bats. Kingfishers, look. Really interesting things you see along the riverbank. Swans, frogs, dragonflies, all interesting things to put into journals and onto ATC cards. Lots of lovely bits and pieces in there to use, and these fly pages, I believe they're called, are lovely and thick and would be lovely to use, and this one would be lovely to use to reinforce a journal card or a tag, anything like that really. And then this one, this is called England is a Garden, and this is the second one of these that I've got. Here we go, look. So they're both called England is a Garden, but I've got different pictures on the front, look, and I noticed while I was looking it up that a lot of them have got different pictures on the front, but the pages in here are so thick. Look at this. I'm going to see if they're actually the same inside. The pages in this one are different. They're more silky than thick. Oh yeah, they're the same, look. Different printers though. I prefer this one. It feels like thick quality paper. I mean, this feels like quality paper, but it feels silky and it doesn't feel this is lovely and thick and feels like luxury paper, if you see what I mean. This is silky paper. Yeah, so they're the same book inside, but they, let me show you, they are just gorgeous. And like I said, I found this one, I think in the charity shop, and then because I liked it so much I looked for another. I like one to keep and one to use. So we've got Tudor houses here that could be cut out and coloured in. We've got these lovely irises, daffodil, roses, beautiful pictures there are in them. And I thought, because the pictures were so beautiful, I like the idea that you can cut these out and colour them in because they're black and white. There's a church there, look. Let's see what it says. Put my glasses on. Westminster Abbey. And this is called Broome. This is rhododendron. Pink pearl, isn't that beautiful? Look at that pagoda. It says it's in Kew Gardens. Yeah, so beautiful. How gorgeous would they look in a journal? Really, really so nice. And I thought, oh, I can't really cut. I don't want to cut up the book unless I've got another one. And I have, like I say, found another one. So I've got one to keep and one to use in a journal. Absolutely love that. Love it. So that was one of the books, and that's one I'd recommend to buy because it's so beautiful. This is fuchsia, I recognise that. This is it a peace lily? Comfrey, tufted vetch, red campion, field rose, germander speedwell, lords and ladies. Yes, I'm not sure what this one is. But there we go, and then beautiful flowers, absolutely beautiful. I just really love the colours, and I love the idea that you can cut these out and colour them in. Really like that. Daffodils, look. Wisteria, lovely, and love those crocus. So yeah, and then the final one I found was one by Edith Holden called The Hedgehog Feast. Now I've never seen, I didn't know that Edith Holden did other books. Look at the picture on the front of this book. We've got a frog, we've got a little lizard here, we've got a owl or a mole. It could be a mole. This is a squirrel, and then we've got bunnies, a mouse, hedgehogs again, another little, I think it's well, that could be a shrew actually, and then yeah, it says £2.95, so it's quite an old book, isn't it? The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, a facsimile reproduction of Edith Holden's Nature Notes of 1906, was undoubtedly the most beautiful book published in many years. The Hedgehog Feast is based on Edith Holden's exquisite watercolour illustrations which were painted after 1911 and, like the country diary, lay undiscovered for many years. Her great-niece, Rowena Stott, had added words to Edith Holden's paintings and line drawings to make up a delightful story about the hedgehog family and their preparations for a hibernation feast. In addition, there was a useful short section on the natural history of the hedgehog. This book has all the freshness and charm of the country diary and will have the same enormous appeal to children and adults alike. So there we are. Let's see. Here's a picture of Rowena, who was Edith's niece, great niece of Edith Holden, and is the owner of both the original illustrations of this book and the country diary of an Edwardian lady. She's now a professional artist herself. But look at this, and this is this tells you about the hedgehog. Facts about the hedgehog. A grey-brown animal which has yellow-tipped spines on its back and sides and coarse hair on its head and undersides. The spines are not as sharp as the porcupine's, and a human can pick up a hedgehog comfortably. The legs and tail are very short in relation to the body, the eyes and ears small. Adult males are about 9 inches long. The hedgehog is a native of Europe and lives in fields, open woods, but not dense ones, hedgerows and gardens throughout Britain. It lies hidden by day and comes out at night to hunt for food, which it finds through its keen sense of smell and hearing. It is most active at dusk and dawn. It feeds mainly on insects and their larvae, snails, slugs, worms and fallen fruits. There have been several accounts by reliable witnesses of hedgehogs gathering fruit and them impaling them for purposes of transport. The story has in fact existed since Pliny first mentioned it. Hedgehogs mate between March and July. 1 or 2 litters, or between 3 and 7 young are born in nests of grass or leaves from May to September. A nest may be built in a hedge, under a tree root, or in a disused rabbit hole. The mother suckles the young for a month, after which they start hunting for food. Hedgehogs hibernate between October and early April in nests bigger than those in which they nurse their young and spend their summer days. They use leaves and pieces of moss to keep the rain out and to maintain an even temperature inside. They usually live for several years, and one has been recorded as surviving in captivity until it was 17. Their natural enemies are foxes and badgers. So that's interesting, isn't it? And then it goes through to have the story of the hedgehog feast, which it said, which we learned were pictures by Edith, line drawings by her great niece, and then the words were put to it also by her great niece. How interesting is that? Really lovely, and I bet it's a lovely story as well. I'll have to read it, but I'd never seen or heard of this book before, so it was really interesting. I was really interested to see it, and I really wanted to have it. Look at that lovely picture. Of course, it will be adding to my collection. I won't be cutting it up because I've only found the one copy of it. Love these pictures though. Love them. So yeah, that was my little book haul. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.